Having discovered the location of the monk Tenkai, the only person who had any chance of providing clues to the fate of her father's treasure, Nariko began traveling Kanai looking for fresh volunteers. To save Tenkai, she would need to make her most dangerous move yet, attacking a large force driven by a religious frenzy and strengthened by walls, moats, and towers. But to begin with, it was simply a matter of convincing the people that destroying the Jimon sect was worth the risk, and that Nariko was the one who could pull it off.
Charge them! This is the final group!
Three wounded, one of ours, 2 dead from the village, 70 bandits out of action.
Thank you. Mary? Yep, I'll set the wounded up. Don't take long. Also, see if you can recruit that looker over there.
Thank you, Mary. So, what do you think? Plenty of able fighters, just lacking the equipment. Probably served under Lord Ogasawara of the Miyoshi. I say we should take as many as will join us.
Go help the men prepare food. All of you from the village, please gather round.
Thank you so much, my lady. I never thought we'd be rid of them.
No one deserves to live as slaves. You need not thank me at all. Everybody, this is a day both of joy and sadness, liberation and loss. Your lives have been given back to you, but not everyone made it through to see the rewards of their efforts. Our hearts are all with those who have lost someone, today and at any point in this endless war. As you know, I lead my men for the purpose of ending injustices, helping the innocent defeat the evils this chaos has created, and giving a home to those who have none. This morning I saw the skill with which you fought, and was plagued with despair that such skill should not be used to its full potential. What's more, I have need of additional fighters for the next few weeks. I intend to destroy the breeding ground for the violent and unforgiving monks of the Jimon sect. It will be hard. That is why it has not been attempted thus far. But I have done things far harder, with far fewer brave warriors to help me. I know that it is not a matter of whether it can be done, only a matter of whether it will be done. And so I ask of you all, to those who feel the same joy I feel to have brought a permanent end to the suffering of others, to take my coin in exchange for fair soldiering work. I am no samurai, and cannot rely on your obligation to join my cause. But I am a child of Japan who will not stand the oppression of anyone, be it your bandits, these monks, or indeed the samurai who have taken so many from you already. Let's do something that hasn't been tried before. A band of warriors of the people, fighting for the people and no one else. Let's show the world that the old order that gave us a ceaseless war can be defied, and that all of our lives shall be better for it.
Hello and welcome back to Nariko's Treasure, where Nariko is hunting for more volunteers for her party. It's going to be easy, in particular around the capital Kyoto. Thanks to her strong reputation, we can simply go around the villages, and large numbers of the villagers wish to come and join our war party, so that's fantastic news. But we're going to have to train and arm these men, and as you can see here, we're running low on money. We've got less than a week's worth of pay left for our troops, so we need to be able to make money fast, especially because upgrading all the new recruits to give them proper fighting equipment is going to cost us a decent amount of cash. But before we can do that, we do need to actually level up the villagers so that they are eligible for being upgraded to superior troops. So to help out with that, we've gone to a local training field where Nariko is just showing off by taking on 4 of her party members at once in front of the captive audience of the rest of the party, so they can learn from her fighting skills. You can see loads of different kinds of troops getting all kinds of different amounts of experience there. So we can do that a little bit just to speed this up, but her own training ability with overnight training will make it fast enough. So here we are ready to upgrade all the troops. It's going to cost us 10 mon for every time we upgrade one of these base level troops, which would drain all my money if I did it all now. So we do need to make some money both for that and because of course at any point we could have to pay our troops, so we need cash to be able to actually keep the party solvent. I decided to go to the nearby village of Ikoma and do some work for them, and they gave me 10 sacks of soybeans in return, which is fantastic news because now I can take that over to Nara and start selling it off. And the price on soybeans seems to be unusually high because we actually make loads of money just selling off these soybeans. Nearly 1,000 mon in total, which suddenly puts us back in a much more favourable financial situation. So because of that, I'm going to start doing these upgrades now. So we're going to take a load of spearmen and then a few skirmishers, focusing on melee troops for this temporary force. Since we are going to be storming a castle, melee troops are very useful since we're going to be charging in and just trying to break through their ranks for the most part. I tried to repeat that trick, but the second time the Ikoma villagers only gave me fruit, and that's much less valuable than soybeans as it turns out, so we're not able to make another load of money off this. And of course, every time you sell food to goods merchants, the value of food actually goes down, so you make less and less money, and because of that I'm going to take the second half of the fruit over to Kyoto to try and sell it there instead, where it could be worth a little bit more. Unfortunately for me, it was not. Kyoto actually had some iron and I really wanted to buy it, but with this little money available we can't really afford to actually be picking up that iron. So in order to try and make some money, I went to go and find Great Lord Miyoshi, who was actually nearby, and he had a mission for me. There's a bounty on a murderer, a samurai who's murdered one of his men, worth 300 mon, and he's asking if we want to take it on and hunt this guy down. And he's actually very nearby according to the reports. The village up there, Keihoku, is where he's supposed to be hiding. But before I did that, I noticed all the lords heading to Kyoto, and that usually means a tournament's going on, and indeed there is. So here's a chance for us to make a little bit of money as well. So we're going to enter into the first round. It's a 4-on-4, and I noticed that Mary has joined the tournament as well, going to be fighting on my side, so that's nice enough. Time to get things going. I think Mary actually got cut down there, but she still will go through to the next round because our team is going to find victory here. Now, normally the way to make money on tournaments is to bet on yourself, but in this instance I can't really bet on myself because I don't have enough money to actually cover the initial bet. So we're going to have to just try and go for the regular prize money. There's the confirmation that Mary is actually fighting in the tournament along with many of the other officers, including Great Lord Miyoshi. So we're going to continue on to the next round. Mary on my team again, leading the charge. I'm given a bow, which isn't Naruko's specialist weapon, but she's getting okay at it just from using it in tournament practice. So our team's able to win pretty much without my help anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That didn't provide too much help with the bow. So continuing on into the next round, it's a 2-on-2, and you can see now I decided I would better myself. Once the initial rounds are over and we've made it this far, it's a little bit less risky to spend the little money I have on bets. We cut down that Onobushi with the bow once again. Another archer is our opponent, and we go at it with our wooden tantos, and I win easily against him. So that's that battle over. Time for another 4-on-4. Everyone left in the tournament is in this fight, so this is a good chance to prove our skill. I'm rushing forwards, trying to get around the main path of the advance of my team so I can hit the enemies in the side, and it works well enough. They have 2 archers though, which is always difficult to deal with, especially if they target you like this, both at the same time. Luckily, my teammate comes in to cut down one of the enemies, but this guy, Great Lord Miyoshi, in fact, really went hard on me. Luckily, my teammate was able to save me from that just before I lost. So now it's a 2-on-2. In the next round, I'm going to come in behind this teammate in order to use him as a distraction effectively. Unfortunately, it does not work whatsoever. He goes down right away, and now the 2 opponents are smashing me from both sides, and then I'm cut down to the ground. Unfortunately, we've been eliminated from the tournament.
Eliminated in the semi-final. You? Third round. Great Lord Miyoshi went out of his way to make these bruises even when it was clear I was out. Hardly fair. You could say letting a sprightly young rogue fight an old man is unfair too. Now to hell's with you. Sorry, didn't think you cared that much about it. Or have you been letting Kajiro poison your ears with his pessimism? Yes, although actually it's me who's pessimistic. He's cheered up now you've started rounding up soldiers. All he wants to do is go fight in the wars with the big boys, you know? I know, but there's no point in doing that. Waste of lives for no hope of success. Glad to hear you say that. What are you pessimistic about then? not really pessimistic, more uncomfortable, and not much makes me feel like that. It's just what you've been promising all those newbies. We can't deliver. How so? How so? It's stuff you've taught me that made me realize it. Fighting for the people and all that, it's just the same chaos and death as the clan wars. No matter what you say, they're gonna realize it wasn't strictly true. They're gonna realize that fighting for you is just like fighting for a samurai lord. Yes. Except a samurai lord gives them some guarantee of pay. I'm working on that, Mary. And you're looking too deep into this. What I told them was just a speech, just something to motivate them. Everyone knows the reality of soldiering, but everyone wishes that reality was different, and you've given them hope that you're something different. You are something different, but their expectations for what we'll achieve are too hard to meet. I wouldn't kick up a fuss normally, but when you take the whole business with the treasure as well, what these people are risking their lives to do is a few arrows' flight from what this is really all about, and, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. It's not so... I mean, we could achieve my goals and theirs together, right? Hasn't that always been the case? I'm glad you want to talk about it, but this isn't really the time or place. Next tournament's starting, and we need good coin more than good cause. Then, on your head be it, is all I'll say.
Not losing heart, we're going to join the tournament again in the afternoon, still hoping to make some money. Now we especially need it because we lost some money on bets in the last tournament. So starting off with another chaotic 4x4. Luckily I managed to get in the side here and take down some opponents, leaving only 2 at the end when my team is defeated. And then the second of those 2 actually let me defeat his teammate, so I could take them 1 by 1, and that proved easier than expected. So that was quite lucky. Moving on now to a 2x2, and I am equipped with a Tetsubo, the best weapon to have in this situation. Get hit by an arrow straight away, not a good start, but my teammate takes down one of the enemy's teams, and now I just have to rush this archer, making sure to run sideways to make it hard for him to target me. He misses every shot, and the Tetsubo easily takes him down. The Tetsubo does damage even when the enemy blocks, making it perfect in tournament situations, especially one-on-one, basically guaranteeing a victory. Speaking of one-on-ones, we got a one-on-one opponent in this round, and regular one-on-ones easy as well. Usually very safe to go through a round when it's a one-on-one fight. Next though, it's a 3-on-3. We're going to be following Lord Ogasawara, the guy who is the lord over many of the new volunteers to Naruko's band, and we managed to win out this round quite easily, especially with the help of this Onobushi Sen, who cuts down with a Tetsubo herself that last opponent. So now we move on to the semi-final, 2 versus 2, the final 4 participants all taking part, meaning that the 2 left standing here will be going on to the final. We've got an archer as our teammate, so we're going to have to do the melee work ourselves, and he doesn't really help at all. We're going to have to just fight a 2 versus 1 here. Luckily, it turns out easy enough, and it was actually Great Lord Miyoshi who was supposedly helping us in that round, not helping very much, but that does mean we're going to face Great Lord Miyoshi in the final now, in a one-on-one, both armed with the same weapon. He is attacking wildly, but it's going to be us getting all these strikes. We're the only ones attacking whilst actually in range, so it seemed he was just a little bit out of his zone there and attacked desperately, but we have won the tournament, making some prize money and a little bit of money from the bets as well. So now what we're going to do is head over to Keihaku, the village, and start looking for this murderer that Great Lord Miyoshi has actually sent us to find. All he gave us to go on is that he's hiding with his associates who are known to be somewhere in this village, so we're going to have to just look around and see if we can spot any clues. You can ask the villagers to help you with this, but usually they don't tell you anything, so it's better to first just have a look around the whole village. And we actually see someone down there in this big pit, standing in the shadows in the corner. Highly suspicious, of course, so worth going to check it out. We're going to see if this guy can answer for himself.
You there, do you know you fit the description of the murderer Kanzaemon? You there, do you know you fit the description of the witch Naruko? Oh, how cute, you've heard of me. Of course, a man must know his mark. Now on to business.
I promptly had to move away as the man started throwing shuriken at me, tiny pointed throwing stars barely possible to see. He hits my horse and me. Now I have to dodge side to side every time I see him throwing to hope he misses. Luckily it works out and I get in close. He pulls out a sword and his attacks are really fast, faster than mine, so he gets a hit against me. Then as he tries to climb up the side of the hole, I smash him with a musket shot, but somehow he survives despite it doing massive damage. I block a hit and then sidestep and slash him down, finishing him off. He took 83 damage from that hit. Almost impossible to survive, and also he's carrying a ninjato, a weapon of the shinobi agents of Japan hired as mercenaries for undercover operations. Highly suspicious. We need to go and report what we found to Great Lord Miyoshi. That proved ever so slightly more difficult than expected, because we arrived at Miyoshi's camp to find that he was engaged in a huge battle against the Ikko Ikki. Luckily it seemed the battle had been going on for a while and his forces were about to win, so as I roll up there's no real threat of things turning sour, but the enemy commander came out to fight me as I was waiting for my force to arrive, and I was able to cut him down in a one-on-one duel, so that will add to Naruko's fame quite nicely. Now all we need to do is form up our men on the side of the battle, not intending to get them really involved in it. They might be able to provide some fire support from there, and ourselves go in to find Great Lord Miyoshi and hopefully end this battle a little bit sooner. We can see only a few Ikko rebels attacking the gigantic Miyoshi force. I'm going to step in and just slash at some of the enemies, getting a bit of damage among them. I pull in some of my forces as well, the guards, to fight with me. And Mary almost gets stabbed in the back there. She really needs to pay more attention in these battles because it's not the first time that's happened. But anyway, right after that, the battle comes to an end. It's a Miyoshi victory. We didn't really contribute to it militarily, but we did defeat the enemy commander, and perhaps that's what people will remember.
Great Lord Miyoshi, Lord Hatakeyama, I present to you the rebel commander, General Tokuda.
He's white in the face. What did you do to him?
The man saw fit to duel with me and suffered the consequences. But don't worry, my lords, I patched him up myself. The ransom money will still be forthcoming, I'm sure.
I won't be ransomed like a disgraced samurai. I want to die like an honorable warrior.
Well, then unfortunate for you it is that the warrior you lost to respects samurai customs. Thank you, Lady Naruko, for this fine display. I must say, though, I did not expect to see you here. I came as soon as I could from Kyoku. I have slain the outlaw Kanzaemon, but he was expecting me and was heavily armed with strange weapons. Here, look at this. The blood is mine.
That's a shuriken. My lord, this could mean the shinobi have broken their agreement. If they are out among the villages again, there will be no end to the rebellions, and no safe place to sleep for us.
I understand the consequences of this discovery, Lord Hatakeyama, I assure you. Thank you, Lady Naruko, for bringing this to my attention. You can take your bounty from my baggage, plenty of valuables left over from today's battle. I will investigate the involvement of the shinobi in this matter. Please come meet me in Kyoto as soon as you can. I know you intend to invest Midera Fortress, but this matter demands immediate attention. Do you understand? I must say that I do not, my lord, but perhaps Kyoto would be the better place to explain it. Wise indeed. Let's return to the business of the day for now then. Tokuda, follow me to my tent. So Miyoshi wants to meet with us in Kyoto, but as we move away from that meeting just now, we see that we go into debt. We now have no money left and actually owe our troops money. We need to get cash fast. I'm going to drop into Sakai here to sell some things in my inventory to get a little bit of money just to keep us going, but these money troubles mean we don't really have time to go and look around Kyoto for Great Lord Miyoshi. We need to complete our mission as soon as possible so that we can downsize our party to a manageable amount. I was looking for bandits on the way back through to Midera, but because we've cleared up the whole place, it's all peaceful as we journey towards the Jimon Sect's fortress. So now that we're here, we've got all the troops we need, gonna put a last tiny bit of money into upgrading the equipment of some of my men, but we're out of cash now. We need to make this assault and we need to succeed right now just to keep the party going. So let's get ready for it. And that's the lay of it.
What are these sticks meant to be?
Towers. Sorry I didn't have time to engage in handicrafts.
The bridge looks pleasant.
Oh, you flirt. Naruko, are you ready? Yes, but this will be up to you, Kojiro-kun. You're the only one who's done something like this before.
Yes, and I can see how it can go wrong. But the attack plan is simple enough.
Even I could have thought of that strategy. Being a samurai's easy.
Well then, if I die, you can help direct the battle, eh?
I think I understand it all. We can go over the details in the morning with the captains.
Indeed, and until then we have more important matters to discuss.
Look, just because no one remembered your birthday doesn't mean...
This is no joking matter, Mary. We have to make a decision. Or rather, Lady Nariko does. If we attack Madeira, we will be, in effect, declaring war on the Miyoshi.
There's no link between the Jumon and the Miyoshi. They're enemies.
I knew you would not see it, especially since you haven't seen it already. I'll step you through it. First, you arrive in Kinai and end the rebellions against the Miyoshi, a task the clan lords had failed for years. The authority of the clan was undermined by your success, insulting Great Lord Miyoshi especially. Then you go and save his life in battle, further heightening his humiliation. His lords begin to wish you were a man so that you could be brought into the clan, and the people wish you'd marry the Great Lord and take over from him. Then at Kyoto, you defeat him in a duel in front of all the lords. Their cheers were like a beating for him. So what does he do? He hires an assassin to end you quietly at Keihoku.
You can't believe that.
I do, and you must too. When you told him you killed his assassin, at the same time pushing the knife in further by delivering the Ikko commander to him, he asked you to drop the assault on Madeira to visit him in Kyoto. He knows what I know, that if you succeed at Madeira, the people will be asking why they even need the samurai when a commoner can do everything they do but better. All his lords will be asking why they listen to the orders of a man who gets upstaged by some hired blade, and a woman at that. If you had gone to Kyoto first, you would not have survived. That's just a fact. Take it from me that these things happen often in politics, and the life of an outsider without noble blood is nothing to them. That is why I was relieved to hear we would visit Madeira first, but still remain troubled. For I'm sure you'll now agree, if we destroy the sect, Miyoshi will have a killer in every town looking for you, my lady. You may never be safe, perhaps not anywhere in Japan. And as long as you lead this company, every member of it will be a target as well.
I can't really... What have I done?
Dabbled too deep in a dangerous game.
What? So you're suggesting we just call it off because Miyoshi will be jealous? You understand what this means to Nariko, right?
I suggest nothing, merely inform. Let this information guide your decisions, my lady, be they changed by it or not.
We can't stop now. We're so close. We'll attack, and then we will return to Kyushu at once. We can outmarch any of their clan armies. I can still keep everyone safe.
It's time to assault Madeira. We're going to have to charge across open ground to get things started. The enemy having towers full of gunmen and plenty of men on the opposite bank of that river there. We're going to have to cross over and get towards them to get near to the entrance to the fortress. So we're going to charge in that direction to get started, ordering the Onobushi to follow me personally while the rest of the troops are simply going to charge. We want to do this as soon as possible and try not to stop, because of course if we stop, the people up in the fortress on those towers and on the walls will be firing at us constantly, so we'll take losses over time. First, we have to fight over this bridge because the enemy sent a few troops out to contest it. Luckily, they're outnumbered here, plus Nariko can get in beside them to start leading the attack by slashing them down. This troop is distracted by Nariko and is then killed by our troops, but Nariko now needs to turn quickly because more enemies are arriving onto the bridgehead. She suddenly takes a massive hit, losing basically all of her health, 49 damage out of about 52 health that she has. She now needs to step back. Anything else and Nariko will go down. Luckily, her troops rush forward to engage in this battle. I don't know where the shot came from. I think it might have come from straight ahead, but whatever the case, we need to remain in cover, and the only cover on this bridge is the armor of the troops around us. So we're going to try and stay in the middle as we load up our Teppo to continue fighting from a distance. We see a gunner on the bank there, can shoot him down easily, completely isolated. Now our troops starting to get across the river are going to have to fight through this small area of workshops where the enemy are going to be able to put up another defense in the choke points. The ideal thing here is to go to the left of these buildings to avoid fire from the fortress itself, but we're going to go to the right to support our troops because some of them are trying to get around there and they may need our help. The main bulk goes to the left to advance up the main avenue. So we advance forward. Monks appear to start fighting with us. One here gets a height advantage, but Kojiro blocks his hit and moves in to slash him down before Nariko takes another hit. So we advance up, our troops killing more, and now advance into the rear of the enemies defending the main road, who can suddenly cut them all down, allowing our main force to now advance more quickly. Next up, we need to take this courtyard on the left. I advance in first, a very dangerous thing to do, but the courtyard itself is clear. The enemies are all up on this firing tower. Expecting them to be distracted, facing my troops down on the ground, I go up to take them out, but they see me and I face a gun barrel the second I get up that ladder, so I jump down and some of my troops are quick to go up instead of me to take them out. So the situation resolves quickly, and now all we have to do is attack the fortress itself across another river and through the enemy's gunfire. To try and suppress the enemy, my skirmishers are going to be firing at them the whole time, and Nariko is going to join in on that. Being a sharpshooter, this is a perfect situation for her because she can pick off the guys on those firing platforms, and every one she kills is probably going to save a couple of lives, especially as we get closer to the walls where they'll be able to fire into our tight formations with impunity. Here comes a second shot as we move on, and it's a hit. That's 2 enemies down. We're going to keep moving. Our forces a little bit spread out now, having taken casualties moving up the main road. We need to advance across that bridge, up that hill, and into the courtyard of the fortress, where we'll just have to storm all these towers one by one and face any defense in the courtyard itself. That third shot, unfortunately hitting the rim of the firing platform, doesn't get a kill, but we're going to move on anyway. Our skirmishers are putting lots of fire on those platforms as well, but unfortunately seem to be unable to actually hit the enemy. These are pretty difficult shots. Nariko with the 4th attempt takes down another foe, so that's actually one of the platforms cleared out already. Now going to follow behind our force as we advance into this courtyard. We can tell just by listening to the sound of the battle that there can't be many enemies left because there's not much gunfire coming from any of these towers. Just a few troops left in each, and many of them can't see us as we get below the towers. As we reach the courtyard, we see some of our troops already here, so I think they've been clearing out the enemy while I was skirmishing down there. There goes another enemy in the tower. The battle's not over yet though, so there's still someone else somewhere. And I spot him actually sitting below that firing platform. He's probably firing through those windows in the wall. We cut him down, and then the battle comes to an end. We did it. We've made it to the center of Madera Fortress and have destroyed all defending forces. Of the 90 men we came in with, we took 40 casualties, roughly half wounded, half dead. Mari and Kajiro not counting among their number, luckily, but is it going to be worth it? The wounded are gathering in the apartment beside the river. We'll take the dead to the other side. So many. Nariko Dono, my lady, be strong. We will make sure the price is just. Yes. Mari, go with Kajiro-kun and see that the dead get some rest. Are you sure? Just go, Mari. Lady Nariko, we found him. I can walk just fine, thank you. Lady Nariko, I presume? Tenkai. You're Tenkai. That is correct. I must say I had never thought the whispers of you were true. When I first heard of you, I wondered... Tenkai, please, just tell me this. Where is the treasure entrusted to Matsunaga Masanori? What now? That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. A treasure? Do you want us to pull this place apart, ma'am? No, just go. Start packing up. Tenkai, please. Matsunaga is my father. He died to protect the treasure and now it passes to me. Just tell me what you know about it. Anything. Look how many died to free you. Nariko? Hey, she's crying. What did you do to her, damn monk? I told her where the treasure is. And? I told her what it is.